PBS Kids. Hearing that name brings me back. Listen, it doesn't matter how old you are or whatever. You still know PBS Kids was come on, we got Barney, Peep in the Big Word World, Wildcrats, and Curious George. Right there, those are classics. But we're not here to talk about my undying love for these shows. Nope, today we're talking about their meet and greet costumes. Now, when I say meet and greet, I don't mean waiting in a couple hours in a line to see a moving JPEG screaming, "Please, I beg of you." Sorry, it's just not for me. This is gonna be like the honor videos beforehand, but I'm not gonna talk about every single one of them because I don't know who the hell Rosie Fernandez is. So I'm focusing on the shows from the early 2000s and before that, so nothing modern. So sorry if you were hoping I was gonna talk about Ready Jet Go. So with all out the way, let's begin. Now where do I begin but not at the PBS Kids mascots? As iconic their shows are, their mascots for me are even more. When you saw that logo, you knew you were gonna have a fun time. Both Dash and Dot seem to have two costumes each. Now looking at the costumes at the right, these are from 2010, and having different clothes from the standard look. Dash is wearing a yellow shirt instead of a white, and Dot is wearing a blue shirt, both having an RSE logo on it. Now doing more research, this was for a Family Expo, and the earliest that I found this was for 2008. The original photo I showed came from 2010, so this event took place for multiple years, having PBS characters that kids could have met. Now for the Dash and Dot that were more accurate, this was in Indianapolis in 2014. Looking at both designs, both are great, but I prefer the 2014 one as it's more the design I remember as a kid. Moving on, we have Arthur. And for Arthur, we have Arthur, DW, and Buster. And honestly, they're great. They perfectly match the anime counterparts perfectly. The only thing that I found is that there seems to be an under DW suit, with her cheeks very red, looking like she has some kind of inflammatory infection. I don't know why it's so red, but maybe someone messed up during the process. And before we move on, I have to mention Arthur Live. And for me counting, there were 9 suits, though there could be more from underplays before this one, because this play is from 2008. But the point is, these suits are great. And I think, I could be wrong, these are the only suits for some of these characters, such as Binky and Mr. Ratburn, but again I could be wrong. Next up we have Clifford the Big Red Dog. And for Clifford there have been many costumes over the years, but all of them are basically the same. The only difference being the size and shape of the eyes and nose. So I'm going with this one, and they did great. It's really not that hard to mess up as it's a red dog. Moving on, we have Dragon Tales. And I have to say, I did not watch Dragon Tales as a kid. It stopped airing just a couple years before I was born, but I do remember at a doctor's office that they had this running. Even though I never watched the series, I can still appreciate the suits for what they're for. And from the looks of things, each character had 2 suits. Also, and there was a big yellow dragon, but I think it's either a puppet or animatronic, not a costume. But I'll be surprised if it actually was a costume of some kind. Next up we have Peep in the Big Wide World, and this is a show that I 100% watch. I love this show, and I'm glad to see they have costumes. Chirp and Peep were both at the North Carolina Museum of Natural Science for some kind of event. However, Quack seems to have been at an honor event. I don't know why they were separated, but as long as we have him, I'm fine. And lastly, these costumes are perfect. Moving on, we have Word World, an honor show that I watched on repeat as a kid. And from my research, it seems to have been only 2 suits, Dog and Duck. Kinda sad they didn't do Frog, but beggars can't be choosers. And I will say, so far these are the best costumes hands down. They really did nail it. Also, I found someone who actually wore the dog suit. I don't know why, but I think it's funny. Sometimes during this research process, I forget there's actually someone inside playing the character. Moving on, we have Martha Speaks. Martha was the dog that ate alphabet soup. I probably just butchered that, but I don't care. That show. Anyways, I had one suit being Martha, and I'm not gonna lie, she kinda bit bone, but besides her looking like she ate BKs, it's a good suit. It's a great suit. Yeah. Continuing with dogs, we have Fetch with Web Fretman. I know, I just probably said Web. Listen, man, I have a hard time pronouncing my R's. Again, an honor grades dog suit. I really don't see any flaws or things that would change. They even kept his mouth great from the show. Moving on, we have Zababafu. And honestly, I don't remember much about this show. I think it was kind of like Wildcrats, which makes sense. It was actually Chris and Martin's Kratts show before Wildcrats. Like the later series, it focuses on teaching kids about animals. As for the suit, it's well put together. Alright, I'm not a fan. It's accurate, that's not the issue, but sometimes things probably shouldn't be brought to life. It's uncanny. Next up we have Dinosaur Train. And the only thing I remember from the show, that there was some episode that there was a scenario where they said, "You're outdid." I could be pulling that on my ass, but that's what I remember. Anyways, for Dinosaur Train, from the looks of things, it had 6 suits. For the standard meet and greet, there was Buddy. Hey, wait, who are they? Okay, listen, bro. There's 6 green flying dinosaurs that I could choose from. Let's say tiny, alright? Yeah, let's go with that. Both suits are well put together. The only thing that throws me off is for the tiny suit, you can see the meshes where the actor sees from. Which isn't a big deal, they have to see, it's just something I noticed. And for the last remaining 4 suits, they were part of Dinosaur Train Live, like a play. For the play, there was Buddy, Tiny, Conductor, and Sunny. Listen, I'm trying my best here, but why do they have 20 different purple dinosaurs of shapes and sizes? Alright? You're not helping anyone. Moving on, we have Sid the Science Kid, and for the show there was only one suit being Sid. And why does he not have any teeth? He looks like a potato asking for money on the side of the highway. Also, do you remember? Ask me if I'm a truck. Are you a truck? Next up we have Signing Time, and for this I think I only watched one episode for it. What it was to teach kids American Sign Language, which is a nice concept. I don't think this has been done recently. Personally, I don't think it worked on me, as I was in a high bracket of smartness watching Chowder, yes, the truly upper echelons of shows from the 2000s. Yeah, I don't know what I just said. As for the costume, it's great, nothing really has to be said. It's just a frog. Moving on, we have Curious George. And what do I say? It's a monkey. But here's a fun fact. Curious George has an undersuit with his original design, which looks like that sock monkey. I can't be the only one who sees that. Also, why do we have Life of Luxury George? Wait, not Life of Luxury. What's that guy's name? I know he recently did, oh my goodness, is that the tung 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 hushar? Happy me boss that took my wife and 3 kids? I don't know what's the guy's name. Also, I kid you not, I swear on my life, I saw a kid wear a shirt that had tung 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 sahur on it that said, this is my dream job. Like, what the actual hair does that mean? Tung 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 sahur is my dream job. Like, myself in the back of the head. YouTube, that's a joke. That's in Minecraft and Fortnite. Yeah, Fortnite Royale, PUBG, Fortnite Dance, oh yeah, Tomato Town. Next up we have Peg and Cat. And I just say Peg sounds like a cat name. So every time I hear Peg and Cat, it's like Peg and Cat. You know what I'm trying to say. Listen, I'm not that off the deep end just yet. Anyways, the suits are really great. So far for PBS Kids, they have been killing it on the costumes, unlike certain companies. Also, why does Cat have a lazy eye? I always wondered that. He looks like a fried egg. Maybe that's why his name is Peg. Wait, no. Peg is the late. Damn it. You know, talking about PBS Kids, I'm surprised that I have not brought up Barney yet. Looking back, I never realized that yes, Barney's part of PBS Kids. I don't know why I never thought about that, but it's clear now. Anyways, there's not much to talk about Barney, as you know, his show is him being a costume, but I just want to put this in as this is PBS Kids. You know, grouping on them all together, let's talk about the Teletubbies. One of the most unsettling shows that was made for kids. For me, I grew up on Slendy Tubbies. Let me know if you remember that, and that changed my perspective on these guys. And one more thing, you want to hear a joke? La 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 chicken. I'm sorry, that chicken joke. Moving on, we have Cat in the Hat knows a lot about that. I never watched this. I watched the Mike Myers film and read the books, so I can't say anything about the show, but I can say these costumes are expressive. I don't know how to say this, but thing 1 and 2 look more than fish than... Wait, what are you even supposed to be? Mischievous, energetic, and playful characters who cause a lot of trouble, but ultimately are harmless. Thank you for that. You know, that actually helps me with nothing. Okay, they're more fish than things. For Cat, I can let him slide. You know, he chill. And lastly, we have Sesame Street. Listen, I know it's made for kids, but it's still goated. Maybe. I haven't watched it since I was 6 or something. Like, who didn't like to learn? Anyways, I'm just gonna slide through the different costumes that have been made, because there have been many characters with different iterations, and going through every single one would be very tedious, and I don't know them all, and I do not want to butcher any of them. But I want to mention that Big Bird is my favorite. For during this time, we're gonna wrap up the video. So this video was supposed to be chill, nothing like going down the rabbit hole about every movie premiere costume that has been. Just for me to just talk about PBS Kids, because there's probably no other opportunity I have to talk about this. Hello, one more thing, it's future me here. I just want to say thank you to the PBS Kids Wiki for these photos and for compiling all the information. I forgot to tell that in the beginning of the video. This is future me. Now back to your scheduled program of today. And I have a question for you. One more thing. What was your favorite show from PBS Kids? Mine has to be Wildcrats or People in the Big Wide World. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Mr. Tubby here. He's gonna make you into a purple dinosaur.